Like I was not supposed to move my body. I should stand still. I should sit down, lie down. Immediately, you need blood. You need at least 2 pints of blood immediately. Like I felt like, okay, am I dying? Am I dying? I just wanted to see my son. I felt like I was already going. I just wanted to see my son. I just wanted to hug him. Normally, that for this age, you're not supposed to struggle. Do you get? You're supposed to say everything clear. Okay, so when you come back, do you bleed? No. It's not blood, nothing. Anyway, thank God it's a story by now. It's a story. It's just a story. So I'm so happy that I've been able to come out of my shell to talk about this right now. Before now, I didn't want to hear anything miscarriage. I never wanted to talk about this, and I was hurting so bad. I don't know, but I felt this emptiness. I felt discouraged. I felt like a failure. I don't know how it happened, but thank God that I've passed that right now and it's long gone. I've put it behind me, even though I still think about it. Trust me, I still think about it. I still feel like it shouldn't have happened. I still feel like, oh my God, I should have met my baby. I still feel like I want to know exactly what happened. I still feel loved. I still miss that pregnancy. But I've been able to put it behind me, and that is why I'm able to talk about it right now. And I feel like talking about it is therapeutic as well. I feel like it's going to help me heal from the trauma, you know. But all the same, I just want to tell you guys about it. I just want to, let you guys in. And I feel like it's going to lift up a burden in my heart. It's going to like make it a little bit easy for me, and how I see it and how I look at it. Anyway, so guys, let me take you guys back to 2021 because that is when this happened. Um, so how do I start? Okay, let me just start anyways. So it was raining birthday celebration that 2021. I was baking a whole lot in the house. Um I baked my baby's birthday cake. I baked my husband's birthday cake. I baked my neighbor's husband's birthday cake. I baked my own birthday cake, and mind you, it was not just one cake I was baking. I was baking double. Like for each birthday, I baked double, or even I think there were times that I had three birthday cakes. Yeah, so I was doing it for the fun of it because I love baking. So I was doing it for the fun of it, and then I also baked my niece's birthday cake. I baked my sister's birthday cake. I baked my sister's friend's husband's birthday cake. See guys, I was baking all through. So I'm trying to tell you guys that I was busy, like super busy. I was going to the market much often, like oftentimes I was going to the market. I was standing to mix and then baking of the cake, decorating. I stand to decorate. I was so busy. I was so busy. So my husband came around as well. My husband's birthday was August 2021. So he was around for his birthday. I threw a surprise birthday party for him. And you guys, I never knew that I was pregnant all this while. I was pregnant. So probably that was like the early stage of pregnancy, the um is it conception, implantation stage or something like that. So you guys, so finally around my birthday, which is September, I missed my period. So I'm like, okay, let me check. And then I checked and it was pregnancy. And I was happy. I told Hobby, my friend was in my house by that time. I told her, everybody was jubilating. I was jumping. I was so happy. I'm like, oh my God. By 2022, I'm going to be carrying my bundle of joy. I was so excited, you guys. So before you know it, I started eating fruit. I started doing a lot of things. And by then, I wasn't a YouTuber. By then, I think it was because I was baking a whole lot that time. So I felt like, okay, I have something to show to the world. So I started putting out my baking videos. That was towards September, October, November period. So September period. So I started, uploading my baking videos. That was how I started my YouTube channel. Then my husband left, my sister left, everybody left. So just left with me and Danny in the house as usual. And then when I was about six, I think 6 weeks or 8 weeks thereabout. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, fine. Let me just go and check my baby. Let me, make sure that I check and know that all is well. And then I went for a scan, you guys. When I went for the scan, that was when I got the shocker of my life. There was no heartbeat. There was a gestational sac, but there was no heartbeat. And I went there with my sister, and then she kept on assuring me that it happens like that. Sometimes, some pregnancies, it happens like that. During the early stage, they would not detect any heartbeats, but I should give it time. Maybe, let's say, around 9 weeks, I can go back to check. Probably there will be a heartbeat. But when I went for that first scan, the doctor was so blunt. Like, he was so blunt with me, like, there's no heartbeat. Come back in the next 2 weeks. If there's no heartbeat, then prepare for evacuation. That's the word. He said I should prepare for evacuation. So I felt so bad. I'm like, anyway, I think that's his job. He didn't want to give me false hope or something, but he just had to tell me the way it is. And then my sister was like, okay, don't worry, all is well. You don't have to be worried. It happens like that, like that, like that. So right from that very minute, right from that very moment, I was disturbed. I wasn't settled at all. I couldn't wait for the next 2 weeks to come. And then my sister told me not to go after 2 weeks. I should make it like 3 weeks or a month so that when I get back there, they'll be able to detect a heartbeat. So exactly what I did. I waited. Okay, you guys, when I went to the first hospital for that scan, they were using a small monitor, like their equipment was a small one. So in my mind, I felt that okay, maybe they didn't detect a heartbeat because their equipment, their monitor was a small one. So let me go to my hospital, which is quite advanced. Let me go to my hospital where the television, I mean the monitor will be so big, and then even if there was no sound, maybe they can see that that pump, that's what I'm talking about, that heartbeat. So immediately when I left that hospital, I went to my hospital. That was in Jabi. So when I went there, I'm like, okay, I want to do a scan and all of that. When I went there, the lady told me, you know what, there's no heartbeat right now, and which is quite strange. It doesn't happen this way. So I'm going to tell you to come back in 2 weeks if there's no heartbeat, but let's just hope that there's heartbeat. So you guys, that was where my trouble started. I was restless and all of that. So although everything was still going on smoothly, I was still having symptoms of pregnancy, and all that. Fast forward to 12 weeks. I think 12 weeks. That pregnancy was already 3 months. Really hoping, really praying that all should be well. And during the time of waiting, you guys, I was eating fruit a lot. And then I was taking perubin. And then I was just, I was, exhibiting this healthy pregnancy habit. I was practicing this healthy pregnancy habit just so that my baby can be healthy and stay. The time where I was supposed to return to the hospital, I think around 12 weeks or so, I was supposed to return to the hospital for another scan. And then few days to that time, guys, the worst happened. So I started experiencing cramps, like menstrual cramps, mild cramps, and then it will come, it will go, it will come, it will go, but there was no, I didn't see blood, I didn't see anything. So there's this particular day, that particular day I was sleeping and then I woke up around 12. I woke up around 12 a.m. and I woke up with cramps. I was having serious cramps. And then I started packing my bag, like my bag, packing Danny and all that to go to the hospital because I was having cramps. So I immediately called my mom. I told her like this was happening to me. She was like, okay, rush to the hospital. And then I decided to call my pastor, and my pastor prayed with me. And immediately my pastor prayed with me, the pain ceased. I'm telling you guys, the pain ceased immediately, automatically. So I'm like, okay, fine. The pain ceased. I'm fine. There's no point going to the hospital anymore. Okay, let me just wait till morning. After all, I'm alone. So instead of, going through that stress of driving at midnight, rushing myself to the hospital, the panic and all of that, let me just wait till probably 6 or 7 in the morning. Then I can head to the hospital. So, guys, I went back to bed, and then you won't believe what happened. I had two dreams, two nightmares. I'm not going to tell you the details of the dream, but I had two dreams, two nightmares. When I had the first one, I woke up, I prayed, went back to sleep, and then I had the second. Then when I had the second one, when I woke up, I was so weak. Like, I mean, I'm talking about in the morning around 6, 7. I was so weak. I was in serious pains. I wanted to go to the hospital immediately. I couldn't drive myself to the hospital. And on a normal day, I'm a very strong woman. Like, I'm very strong. I can do anything. I drive myself in serious situations. But on that fateful day, I couldn't. I was in pain, serious pains. So I called my sister and she said, okay, I should just stay put. I shouldn't move. That she'll call her friend to come pick me to the hospital. So she did. She called her friend. Her friend called me. Faith, if you're watching this video, shout out to you. So she called Faith, and Faith called me that okay, I should just hold on. In a few minutes, I'm going to see her, and then she's coming to take me to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm waiting for you. The next few minutes, I was talking to my parents. They were asking me, okay, what's the situation? What's happening? How are you feeling? And all that. So I went into the bathroom. I'm like, okay, let me have my bath and wait for Faith to come. So I went into the bathroom. I was having my bath, and then my dad called me, and I was answering him on the phone while in the bathroom. And then I started bleeding, like seriously bleeding. I mean, clots of blood. Like it was red, bright red, and then I've never seen such a thing in my life. Immediately, I started bleeding. I started feeling so dizzy. I almost fell down in the bathroom. I had to hold the walls of my bathroom, and then I told my dad, as I'm speaking to you right now, I am seriously dizzy. I nearly fell down inside this bathroom. So I'm just going into my room now to dress up. I'm waiting for Faith. So my dad said, okay, once I get to the hospital, I should let them know. I went to the hospital, and there was queue, serious queue, and I couldn't stand straight anymore. I was like, I was holding my tummy. I walked up to, is it the receptionist you call them, or front desk, something like that, those people in front. So I walked up to them. I'm like, guys, I'm not feeling so well. They said, yeah, There's a queue. You have to be on queue. There are lots of people before you, so please wait. So I don't blame them because they didn't know exactly what was happening to me. I didn't explain to them. But they can tell, they can see me and they can tell that I'm in pains. But well, a lot of people in the hospital are in pain. So I don't blame them at all. So I sat for about 10 minutes. And you guys, I was bleeding heavily. I sat for about 10 minutes and then I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go open up to them. I went there. I told them, you guys, I'm pregnant and I'm bleeding. And they were like, what? Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you say this? Why have you been standing on queue? You should have just said something. Oh yeah, quickly, start going to the emergency. Start going to the emergency. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. I quickly rushed to the emergency. When I went there, I told them, you guys, I'm pregnant and I'm bleeding. They were like, okay, okay. Immediately, they brought out that wheelchair. I sat on it, and I think before then, I had gone for my vitals. I went for full blood count. Yeah, I did full blood count. So while I was at the emergency unit, I got a call. Hello, are you Miss Jennifer? Where are you? Please, are you inside the hospital? Are you outside the hospital? I'm like, I'm inside the hospital. Okay, cool, cool. Where are you? I'm at the emergency unit. Stand right there. Don't move an inch. Don't move an inch. Stand right there. We're coming to meet you. Immediately, those people had already started, looking for veins, looking for lines, setting up cannula and all that. Immediately, I saw about two people from the lab. Are you Jennifer? Yes. Okay. Okay. We checked your blood and it is 12%. You guys, 12%. And those people were already looking at me with pity, with this kind of, like, I was not supposed to move my body. I should stand still. I should sit down, lie down, lie down. Immediately, you need blood. You need at least 2 pints of blood immediately. Like, I felt like, okay, am I dying? Am I dying? Oh my God. There was a point here, cannula here, cannula here, cannula here. It was here before. This place got swollen, like my whole hand got swollen, like swollen. They had to move it to this place. You guys, I was on bed. Somebody was, I was on drip here, like they put drip here. I can't even explain. I can't explain everything that happened, but you guys, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was dying. And I asked myself, am I dying? So immediately, my mom called. I think I picked the call. I told her the situation of things, and my dad was like, your mom is coming right away. Before you know, my mom started firing prayers. I now told Faith, because me, I felt I was going to die. I told Faith, please, can you bring Danny? Just bring Danny for me to see. I just wanted to see my son. I felt like I was already going. I just wanted to see my son. I just wanted to hug him. I wanted to hug him in case anything was going to happen. I just, that was like the most important person to me at that time. So I wanted to see him. I wanted to hug him. It was a terrible experience, you guys. That was around that COVID-19 time. So before you know it, before they even admitted me, they had to do the COVID-19 test for me. And then I was on drip, and then I was on blood. I finished 2 pints of blood before 3 hours. I already finished 2 pints of blood. Hmm. When those people came to tell me that my blood level was just on 12%, you guys, you know what that means? Like there was no blood. Like I bled everything out. There was no blood. I will never go through that again in Jesus' name. And then I never ever pray that anybody goes through miscarriage that way again. I know a lot of people miscarry pregnancies. Some are just, easy, like just they don't go through all those trauma, but I went through a whole lot. Hmm. So when Faith brought my son Daniel, they didn't let him in because it was an emergency ward. It was an emergency unit. Children are not allowed. They didn't let him in. That was another worry for me. I'm like, before I pass out, let me just see my son. Well, I think what happened, everything is just trying to, like, I'm just trying to remember everything. It's just, my sister called me. She was crying on the phone. Jennifer, what is wrong with you? Jennifer, what is wrong with you? Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I started crying. I don't know, maybe they told her that your sister is dying, and then she had to call me, like, oh my god, let me just talk to her for the very last time. I don't know. She just called me and she was crying. And I was crying as well. I'm like, God, this is how people go. There's no two ways about it. This is how people go. But you guys, God said no. It's not your time, baby girl. It's not your time to go. And that's why you guys are still seeing me here, glowing, living in the land of the living. God said it wasn't my time. That was an experience. That was a very traumatic experience for me. And I am so grateful to God that I came out of it alive. You guys, for my blood level to be on 12%, I was responding to treatment. And then at a point, they told me, okay, your blood level is now 22%. I think the next day, after taking about 2 or 3 pints of blood, they told me your blood level is now 22%. And then we are going to keep you here. I was on admission, of course. We're going to keep you here to monitor you. We're not going to give you another pint of blood just immediately. We're going to leave you. I was taking a lot of vegetable drugs and all that. So they said they were going to leave me for like a day to see if I build up that blood by myself, if my body is able to build up that blood. And then if not, then I'll be ready to take another pint of blood. So my mom came to meet me. I've forgotten if it's that very day or the next day. She came to meet me. Vera was there. Vera was like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? At that point, I couldn't even talk to anybody. I couldn't call anybody. It was my sister that had to call her friend to come and take me to the hospital. All the calls I was receiving, my phone was buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Like, some calls I was able to pick, some I wasn't able to pick. Everybody was on high tension. At the end of the day, you guys, I lost that pregnancy. At the end of the day, it was painful, very painful. Because I had already, started seeing myself in new baby. It was painful, it was traumatic, but I lost the pregnancy. And then I kept on asking the doctors what happened. Why did I lose the pregnancy? What happened? Is there anything I did wrong? Is there anything I was supposed to do that I didn't do? Just tell me what I did. Tell me what really went wrong. Until today, nobody is able to give me a valid explanation. Nobody is able to give me a reason why I lost that pregnancy. Okay. So I kept on asking doctors at every appointment. I kept on asking doctors what really happened. They said some children, like, they kept on explaining that some pregnancies don't start off in a healthy way. So that is your body's own way of doing away with the unhealthy pregnancy. And then when you want to talk about the spiritual side again and all of that. This video is going to have two parts because it's already too long. So you guys watch out for the second part.